Hello there, and welcome to Her Money Mindset, the podcast where we talk about all things money, mindset, and how our relationship with finances shapes our lives. I'm Courtney Schwangler, and I am so excited to have you here. This podcast is for women who want to take control of their financial futures, transform the way they think about money, and finally break free from any limiting beliefs or fears surrounding their finances. Now, whether you're just starting out on your money journey, you're looking to build wealth, or you want to get clear on your financial goals, this show is for you. Here on Her Money Mindset, we are diving deep into topics like budgeting, saving, investing, and everything in between. But we're not just talking numbers and strategies. We're digging into the real reasons why so many of us struggle with money in the first place. Our mindset around money plays a huge role in how we handle it, and it's about time we got real with it. So, I will be sharing tips and tools to help you feel more confident in your financial decisions, but we'll also be exploring how your personal history, upbringing, and past experiences with money can influence how you manage it today. It's time to heal that relationship with money and make it work for you. So, if you are finally ready to shift your mindset, build the life you deserve, and start making your money work for you, then you are in the right place. And I cannot wait to take this journey with you. Now, before we jump in, let's go over some basics. So, if you are finally ready to make a difference in your financial life, but you want something self paced, check out my Budgeting Basics bundle. This is a digital pack filled with the exact tools I use to stop living paycheck to paycheck and start feeling confident with my finances. Now, inside, you will get my signature budgeting template, a debt payoff tracker, savings challenges, a money mindset reset, an expense audit, which we will be talking about in this episode, and even a 2-week budget bootcamp to help you get back on track and fast. So, when you hear me say 2-week budget bootcamp, what does that really mean? So, what I do inside of this 2-week budget bootcamp is I give you 14 days worth of actionable challenges and steps to take to get more money back in your pocket in 30 days or less. Seriously, I am telling you, within the first week to the first 2 weeks of doing this 2-week budget bootcamp, you will have found more money to put back into your budget, whether that's towards your debt, towards your savings, or towards your investments. So, if you are ready for a fresh start with your money without the overwhelm, this bundle is exactly where I would have you begin, and you can grab it now using the link in the show notes, and be sure to use code HMM Podcast for 15% off of your purchase. This is a podcast exclusive discount code, so make sure you use that. That is my way of saying thank you for coming and listening to the show. So, if you know that you want help with your money and your money habits, but you want something faster than self paced work, personalized, and someone to directly hold you accountable, sign up for a private one on one coaching with me. I will have the link in the show notes for you. You can either do a one time one on one coaching call to answer your budgeting basics, get your budget set up, and get you on your way, or you can do my 12-week private coaching program for more accountability, structure, and motivation. Be sure to sign up today for a free consultation call with the link in the show notes. And if you choose to do the one-time one-on-one strategy call, make sure you use code HMM Podcast for 15% off of that purchase as well. Also, lastly, please leave a review of the podcast. This is such a great way to tell me and others that you enjoy this podcast, and it helps more women find it. So, now, let's dive into today's episode, which is Mortgage Payoff Secrets: How Extra Payments Actually Save You Thousands. So, today we are diving into one of my absolute favorite money strategies. This is something that looks so small on paper, but it has the power to change your entire financial future. And what is that, you might ask? Making extra payments on your mortgage. Now, before you hit pause because you're thinking, Courtney, I don't even have extra money right now, I want you to stay with me, because by the end of this episode, you are going to understand why extra payments matter, how even tiny amounts add up to tens of thousands of dollars saved, and exactly how to fit those payments into your real life budget without feeling like you're cutting out everything fun. And I'm also going to share how my husband and I are working on our own mortgage payoff and the mindset shifts that kept us motivated even when progress feels slow. So grab your coffee, pull up your budget, and let's talk about how to shave years, yes, years off of your mortgage. So let's start with a quick refresher, you guys. A huge point of confusion I see within my work is what a mortgage actually is. So I have a mortgage payoff calculator. I will have this linked in the show notes for you, or you can find it in my Stan store, which is linked in the bio of any of my socials: Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok, YouTube, you name it, you'll be able to find it. It's only $7 and I love it. This is the calculator that I use and I made it myself. So, a mortgage is made up of two main parts. That is the principal, which is the actual amount of money you borrowed to buy your home. And then there is the interest. This is the bank's profit for lending you the money. Your escrow is not a part of your mortgage. Your PMI, that is not a part of your mortgage. So you're thinking my mortgage payment is this. No, it's not. Your mortgage payment is actually probably a couple to a few $100s less because your actual mortgage itself, that payment is only made up of P&I, which means principal and interest. So the principal is the amount you borrowed. In this episode, I'm going to use $200,000 as an example. And then in the interest, that is the bank's profit for lending you the money, which means it could be a 2.25% interest if you're insanely lucky and you bought your house a while ago, or if you bought your house now, that's probably 6%, 6.5%, 7%. Okay? So, and here's another sneaky part that most people don't realize. Your payments in the early years are mostly interest. You could pay thousands of dollars every year and only a tiny, and I mean shockingly tiny portion is actually reducing your loan balance. So, for example, on a $200,000 loan at 6.5% over 30 years, your monthly payment is about $1,264. But listen to this, your jaw is probably going to drop, okay? In year one, only about $200 of that goes to your principal. Did you hear what I just said? Your monthly payment, let's say it's $1,264. In year one of paying your mortgage, only about $200 of that goes towards your principal. The rest is interest. That is how banks make their money. So you are spending thousands of dollars a year and it's not even going towards your actual principal, the actual amount on your house that you owe. That's insane, right? So, but here's the exciting part. When you add even just a little bit extra directly towards your principal, you're breaking that cycle. You're lowering the balance faster, which means the bank has less money to charge interest on. And that is why the foundation of extra payments are such a game changer. And it's even better if you can make extra payments earlier in the mortgage, as that is when the bulk of the interest is being paid. Like I just told you in that example of only $200 in that first year going towards principal. So let's talk about how this plays out in real life. So let's say you have the same $200,000 loan at 6.5%. If you only make the minimum payment, you'll pay over $255,000 in interest. I'm not talking total, I'm talking interest by the time the 30 years is up. That means your $200,000 house actually costs you more than $455,000. You guys, can you hear in my voice how passionate I am about this topic? That is just wild. That is just wild. You took out a loan for $200,000 to buy a house, right? And you're going to pay more than the cost of the home. More than the cost of the home in interest back to the bank. So with that $200,000 loan, that means that you are going to end up paying $455,000 over that 30 years. That's how much you're going to pay. Not the 200. You pay 255,000 just in interest. You guys, wild, okay? Wild. But if you just add $200 a month or 50 or 100, whatever you can do, but for this example, I'm going to do 200. So that's about the cost of cutting back on a couple of dinners out a week, skipping a couple subscription boxes. You'll save over $60,000 in interest and cut more than 6 years off of your mortgage. And even if you only add $50 extra, you'll still save around $17,000 in interest and shave a year and a half off of your loan. Here is the mindset shift I want you to grab onto. It is not about throwing thousands at your mortgage at once. It's about being consistent. Like I say, consistency beats perfection every single time. $50 a month adds up. $100 a month adds up. It's like compound interest, but in reverse. You're compounding your savings instead of compounding your debt. So now that I've convinced you that extra payments are powerful, which hopefully I have because that's just wild, right? Let's get practical. So rule number 1, you must, and I mean must, this is not an option, you have to mark your extra payment as apply to principal only. If you don't do this, the lender might just apply it towards your next month's interest and it doesn't cut down your principal at all, which completely takes away the benefit and the entire point of adding the extra money. Rule number 2, you have to decide how you want to structure your extra payments. So you can do monthly extra payments. This is what my husband and I do. You can add a set amount extra towards your mortgage every single month. For my husband and I, our mortgage is $2,061 and some change. We usually will just round it up to $2,200 a month just to make it easy. There's also bi-weekly payments. So instead of 12 monthly payments, you make a half a payment every 2 weeks. And because there are 52 weeks in a year, this ends up being 26 half payments, which equals 13 full payments. So this is one extra payment a year without you even feeling it. And then you can also do lump sums. So this could be tax refunds, bonuses, or side hustle income to knock down that balance in bigger chunks. So each method works, but the magic is picking one and sticking with it. So like I said, my husband and I, we like to do the monthly extra payments. That's what works for us. And the money that I make from my mortgage payoff calculator goes towards our extra payment that we make every single month. So let's pause for some real talk, okay? Because mortgage payoff is exciting. Absolutely. Absolutely. Is it exciting? And it saves you thousands of dollars in interest. But this is not the only financial priority. So before you start aggressively paying extra on your house, you need to make sure that you have a starter emergency fund, some retirement contributions happening, even if you're starting out small, and your high interest debt, like your credit cards, those need to be gone. So if you are one of those people that you spend on your credit card and then you pay it off every single month, I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking about you. I am talking about the people who are in crippling credit card debt. We're not worrying about paying off the mortgage right now, okay? Our first concern is that starter emergency fund, and our second concern is getting that debt gone, getting that debt under control, okay? Because, well, paying off your mortgage early is great. It's amazing. It's wonderful. It doesn't make sense to do it at the expense of your safety net or your future retirement. So for us, we balance it like this. So we invest some, we save some, and we put a little towards the mortgage. We do what we can towards the mortgage for right now. And then as our income grows, as we become more stable in our jobs, and as I earn more money with my business, Her Money Mindset, we can increase the amounts that we're contributing to each area. It's not about perfection, it's about having momentum in all the areas. So remember, you cannot refinance retirement. So you need both wealth building and debt freedom working together for you. So you might be listening to me and you're thinking, okay, this is amazing. I want to do this. I want to pay off my house early. I want to get started. I want to save, that 17,000, that 50,000, that $60,000. But where the heck am I supposed to find the money for extra payments? So this is where one of my favorite tools comes in, and that is an expense audit. So this is where you track every single dollar over the last 30 days. And you will see patterns that you haven't noticed. So maybe you're spending $350 a month on takeout or fast food that you didn't plan for. Maybe you have $80 in subscriptions that you forgot you even signed up for. These dollars are opportunities, and it's about having value-based spending. So let's say you're able to free up $100 a month from areas in your budget that are not more important to you than paying off your mortgage early. That is over $60,000 in savings on your mortgage. And this is one of the perfect reasons why I created the Budgeting Basics bundle and that mortgage payoff calculator. So inside of that Budgeting Basics bundle, you get a 1 month expense audit template where you can fill out your own 1 month expense audit. You can do your joint account and you can do your partner's account as well if you have a partner. Then I also give you a 2-week budget bootcamp that walks you step by step on how to cut costs without feeling deprived and the tools to make sure that you are budgeting for fun too. Because the best budget is always the one you're actually going to stick to. And freeing up cash flow is what gives you the power to make those extra mortgage payments. And you can use my calculator, which I will have linked in the show notes for you. Or, like I said, you can get it from the bio of any of my socials. It's only $7. And what this does is you enter in all of your loan information and it gives you a extra payment column. And any extra payments you make, you just add it in there and you can literally watch. The calculator will do the work for you and it will start showing you the thousands. I'm not kidding when I say thousands of dollars that you are saving in interest. This is such a great way to have momentum. This is a great way to track how much you are making. It's a great way to track how much earlier you'll be able to pay off your debt. This tool is simply fantastic. Shameless plug right here. This mortgage payoff calculator is a fantastic tool and it is exactly what you need if you are trying to pay off your mortgage early. So I want to share a real story because I know some of you are thinking, Courtney, this sounds great, but I barely have enough to get by. First, I hear you. And second, you are not alone. So, one of my previous coaching clients, she thought that she was stuck paycheck to paycheck, but we did an expense audit and she actually found $175 a month in leaks. And what I call leaks is little areas throughout the budget where money was just disappearing. And she was able to redirect that into her mortgage, and she's now on track to pay off at least 7 years early. And that is exactly the kind of power of awareness and intentionality that I am trying to teach you and other women, that you have the capability to do this. You have the capability to be debt free. You have the capability to have thousands of dollars in your savings account. You have the capability to pay off your house 10 years freaking early if you want to. Okay? And here's what I love most: every extra payment you make is like buying back time. You're buying freedom from the bank, freedom from stress, and freedom for your future self. So let's wrap this up with a quick recap. So your mortgage is mostly interest in the beginning. So extra payments directly cut down your balance and they save you thousands. And when you are making these payments, if you're able to start in the beginning, it helps a ton because that is when it's most interest heavy, is in the beginning. And even small amounts, $50, $100, $200, this makes a massive, massive difference. Use the strategies like the monthly, biweekly, or the lump sum payments that we talked about. And make sure that you are balancing your mortgage payoff with your other priorities like your emergency funds, your sinking funds, and your retirement. And the easiest way to find the money to put towards your mortgage is through an expense audit and intentional budgeting. So remember, you are not just paying off a house, you're paying for peace of mind, for choices, and for freedom. For freedom, you guys. So, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you had that aha moment today, listening to me tell you that you end up paying more than your house is worth and the original mortgage loan that you took out in interest, if you had that aha moment today, here's what I want you to do next. Grab that budgeting basics bundle. If you need to free up cash flow so you can make those extra payments, this is the exact system to help you do it. It's $17, and inside you'll find the expense audit, the 2-week budget bootcamp, and simple templates that actually work in real life because they were made by me and they were designed for real women with a real life with real budgets. Then grab the mortgage payoff calculator. So if you want to see the exact impact of an extra 50, 100, 200, or maybe a couple thousand on your loan, this calculator will blow your mind, you guys. You'll be able to see just how quickly you can shave off years of payments. And another great option is booking a one-on-one strategy call. So if you're stuck or you just want someone to help you map out a payoff plan that fits your unique situation, let's do it together. So in one session, we will create a clear roadmap that feels doable and motivating. And finally, please leave a review for this podcast. Your reviews help other women find this show and start their own money journey towards financial freedom. Now remember, every extra dollar you throw at your mortgage isn't just reducing debt. This is buying back your future. Until next time, keep going. You've got this, and I will see you for Friday's episode.